Hi guys, I am here to go over 10.1. This is what you will be putting into your math notebook. So you can watch this before and maybe follow along and then go ahead and copy everything over. Alternatively, you can play this and then pause it when you write and then play again and move on to the next problem. Alright, so lesson 10.1 is talking about outcomes and events. So a couple key terms that you'll need to know. First one is experiment. An experiment is an investigation or a procedure that has varying results. Okay. Now, the next word is outcomes. And the outcome is one of the possible results of an experiment. The next word is event. An event is a collection of one or more outcomes. And favorable outcomes are the outcomes of a specific event. Okay, so now when you look at number 1 to go ahead and copy down, they're asking you to look at this 6-sided cube, like a regular dice that you'd be playing with when you play a game of Monopoly, let's say. And the first thing is you roll the number cube, and the question is, what are the possible outcomes? Outcomes meaning the possible results. So the only possibilities are the numbers that are on the faces of the cube, and there are 6 of them. So you could roll the number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. And that's what they're saying with that one. Okay. The next question is, what are the favorable outcomes of rolling an even number? So what I would do is look at the possible outcomes and list all the ones that are even. So out of these choices, the number 2, the number 4, and the number 6 are even. The ones that are not even are 1, 3, and 5, right? So the favorable outcomes meaning the outcomes of a specific event, are a 2, a 4, and a 6. All right, moving on to C. What are the favorable outcomes of rolling a number greater than 5? Okay, so they said greater than 5. That means we cannot include the number 5. Anything greater than 5, apparently in this list of numbers here, it looks like 6 is the only one that's greater than 5. So that favorable outcome is 6. Moving on to the second problem, counting outcomes. So now we have a spinner. And the first question is, how many possible outcomes are there? Well, I would count the number of sections on this spinner because those are the total number of possible outcomes. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, apparently 6 outcomes here. 6 possible outcomes. B, in how many ways can spinning red occur? So I would just go back to my counter. I would look at all of the sections that are red and count those up. Those are crazy arrows, sorry. So I've got 1, 2, 3 possible reds, 3 red sections. In how many ways can spinning not purple occur? What are the favorable outcomes of spinning not purple? So the wording sounds really weird. Just try to disregard that. So the question is, how many sections are not purple? Okay, so I'm going to look at this, and I can see that I've got the color red occurring. Let's do a different color highlighter. I've got red over here, I've got blue, and I've got green. So what we need to do is count up all of the possible ways that the spinner can hit this spinner table. So the first one is, it could be red. Just going to clear this up for you. Okay, so it could be red, red, red. It could be blue, or it could be green. Those are all the choices that are not purple, and you literally just list them all right there. All right, this was a very straightforward lesson. I hope that makes sense. Make sure that you go in and you copy down the key ideas into your notebook, and let me know if you have any questions.